In 1992, Hollywood said goodbye to one of its most iconic figures, Chuck Connors. But the man who became famous as the rifle-toting Lucas McCain left behind more than a beloved Western series. His real life was just as gripping as anything that ever played out on screen. Hidden chapters of his story reveal an unexpected involvement in Cold War diplomacy, scandalous affairs that nearly derailed his career, and secrets he carried until the very end. Now, decades after his passing, the full story is finally coming into focus. How did a baseball player from Brooklyn become a celebrated figure in the Soviet Union? Why did all three of his marriages end in heartbreak and public scandal? And what was the truth behind the persona he projected to the world? Chuck Connors was born Kevin Joseph Aloysius Connors on April 10, 1921, in Brooklyn, New York. His parents, Alan and Marcel Connors, were hard-working Irish immigrants struggling to raise their family during the harsh realities of the Great Depression. His father worked on the docks as a longshoreman, while his mother took on whatever small job she could to help support the household. These early years taught young Chuck the value of perseverance and hard work. Growing up in a working-class neighborhood, Chuck spent much of his free time at the Bay Ridge Boys Club, where his love for sports began to blossom. He especially adored baseball and dreamed of playing for his hometown heroes, the Brooklyn Dodgers. At the age of 14, Chuck's life began to take a new direction. His athletic abilities caught the attention of talent scouts, and he was offered a scholarship to Adelphi Academy, a private high school in Brooklyn. He seized the opportunity, excelling in several sports including baseball, basketball, football, and track. As a first baseman, he quickly gained a reputation, and by 1939, he was ranked among Brooklyn's top high school baseball players. With graduation came a flood of over 25 college scholarship offers. Connors chose Seton Hall University in New Jersey, where he continued his dual pursuit of basketball and baseball. On the basketball court, he played as a backup center, relying on his size and defensive skills. But baseball was where he truly shined. In one standout game in 1942, he hit 2 home runs and drove in 6 RBIs, an explosive performance that drew attention from pro scouts. It was during his college years that Connors got the nickname that would follow him for the rest of his life. While playing first base, he often shouted, "Chuck it to me," to his teammates. Eventually, the name stuck. But before he could chase his baseball dreams any further, World War II intervened. In 1942, he joined the U.S. Army and trained at Fort Knox, where his height and athleticism led him to become a tank warfare instructor. Later, he was stationed at West Point, where he trained soldiers, including future football stars. Even while serving, Connors stayed close to sports, playing semi-pro baseball in Brooklyn and joining the American Basketball League. After 3 years of military service, Chuck was honorably discharged in 1946. That same year, he joined the Boston Celtics during their inaugural season. At 6'5", he played both forward and center, averaging 4.5 points per game over 49 matches. His standout moment came in December 1946 when he scored 15 points in a close game against the Providence Steamrollers. Despite this, his basketball career was short-lived. In early 1947, he left the Celtics to pursue baseball full-time. By May 1, 1949, Connors achieved a lifelong dream when he debuted with the Brooklyn Dodgers. However, it was a rocky start. He played in only 1 game, hitting into a double play. Unwilling to give up, he returned to the minor leagues and kept improving. In 1951, he made it back to the majors with the Chicago Cubs. That season, he played in 66 games and hit 2 memorable home runs against the New York Giants. He wrapped up the season with 48 hits and a .239 batting average. Connors' unexpected entry into Hollywood came in 1952. While playing baseball for the Los Angeles Angels, he hit a towering home run during a game that caught the eye of Billy Gordon, a casting director from MGM. After the game, Gordon approached Connors in the locker room and encouraged him to consider acting. Initially, Connors dismissed the idea, but a minor injury sidelined him soon after, and curiosity led him to visit MGM. To his surprise, he was given a screen test almost immediately. Within 3 days, he had signed his first acting contract. His film debut came in the romantic comedy Pat and Mike alongside Hollywood legends Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn. Although his role as a police captain was small, Connors impressed on set, completing his first scene in just 2 takes. Spencer Tracy pulled him aside afterward and told him, "You've got something. Stick with it." That encouragement lit a fire in Connors. Over the next several years, he immersed himself in the film industry. Between 1952 and 1958, he appeared in more than 20 films. One of his most notable early performances was in Disney's Old Yeller, 1957, where he played Bern Sanderson. The film's popularity gave his career a significant boost. He also worked alongside John Wayne in Trouble Along the Way and starred with Gregory Peck and Charlton Heston in The Big Country. These roles helped him grow as an actor and expand his reputation, but it was television that made Chuck Connors a household name. In 1958, producers cast him as Lucas McCain in The Rifleman after seeing his heartfelt performance in Old Yeller. Initially, Connors declined the role due to the lower pay, but the producers sweetened the deal with a higher salary and 5% ownership of the show. He accepted and began intense training to prepare, mastering horseback riding and learning to handle a rifle in a way that looked impressive on camera. Working with weapons expert Rod Redwing, Connors practiced tirelessly until he perfected his signature moves, even at the cost of sore, blistered hands. When The Rifleman premiered on September 30th, 1958, it was an instant hit. Over 14 million TUBAs viewers tuned in to the debut episode. Connors' portrayal of Lucas McCain, a widowed father raising his son Mark alone in the Old West, resonated deeply with audiences. The father-son dynamic, played beautifully with child actor Johnny Crawford, became the emotional center of the show. It wasn't just about shootouts. It explored themes of parenting, morality, and justice. By the end of its first season, The Rifleman was the 4th highest-rated program on television, reaching 14.6 million households. After the show ended, in 1963, Connors struggled to escape the shadow of his Western persona. Yet he continued working, taking roles in both film and television that showcased his range. His most critically acclaimed performance came in 1977, when he portrayed plantation owner Tom Moore in the landmark miniseries Roots. It was a bold departure from his usual roles, and his chilling performance highlighted the brutality of slavery, without exaggeration. The series drew an audience of nearly 100 million viewers for its finale, and earned Connors an Emmy nomination, affirming his dramatic chops. In later years, Connors took on a variety of roles in low-budget horror and sci-fi films. In Tourist Trap 1979, he delivered a haunting performance as Mr. Slauson, a deranged museum owner surrounded by mannequins. Though initially overlooked, the movie later gained cult status. He also starred in The Daytime Ended, 1980, battling aliens in a bizarre sci-fi plot. On television, he appeared in fan-favorite shows like Fantasy Island, The Love Boat, and Murder, She Wrote. In the horror series Werewolf, 1987-1988, he played the villainous Janos Skorzani, adding a darker edge to his acting profile. Connors's personal life mirrored the drama of his screen characters. His first marriage was to Canadian model Elizabeth Betty Riddell, whom he met during his baseball days in Montreal. They married in 1948 and had 4 sons, Michael, Jeffrey, Stephen, and Kevin. At first, everything seemed ideal. But as Connors' acting career soared, their relationship began to unravel. Long hours on set and persistent rumors of affairs created distance. In 1961, Betty discovered he was involved with an actress, which led her to file for divorce the following year, though they kept things civil publicly. It later came out that Betty had threatened to reveal his infidelities if he didn't cooperate with the divorce settlement. His second marriage in 1963 was to Kamala Devi, an Indian-British actress he met on the set of Geronimo. Their marriage was groundbreaking at the time due to its interracial nature, and became a subject of both admiration and gossip in Hollywood. They starred together in several projects, including Branded and Cowboy in Africa. However, they clashed. Over their artistic paths, Kamala wanted him to explore more refined roles while Connors clung to his cowboy image. Add to that his ongoing reputation for infidelity, and by 1972, their marriage ended in divorce. Connors' third and most controversial marriage was to Faith Quabius, whom he met while filming Soylent Green in 1973. She was 33 years younger than him. They married in 1977 in Mexico, joking that they had played spouses on screen so often it felt natural to do it for real. But the relationship lasted just 3 years. Faith later accused Connors of abuse during their marriage, blaming his drinking for his behavior, accusations Connors denied, though they tarnished his reputation. Throughout his life, Connors was dogged by whispers of extramarital affairs and emotional turmoil. One woman claimed she had a long-term relationship with him in the 1960s and alleged he fathered her child, though no evidence ever confirmed it.